My name's C.W. Jones. I've been working here 47 years in the banquet department. My best memory, I guess, would be when President Ford visited San Antonio and he was at the convention center, and over there he tried to eat a tamale with the husk still on it. And he finally came over here and we had a reception for him in the Cartier room. And I went to use the phone to call the kitchen for some additional foods. And I picked it up and said, I didn't get a chance to say anything because the voice came on and it said White House. And I looked at the phone and I said, nope. And I just hung it up. I couldn't think of anything to say. I just didn't expect, and they didn't tell us, that they had switched all the phones to a direct line to the White House. It was only after the visit that I found out wherever the president is, he has to be in direct contact with the White House. So all the phones on the 22nd floor had been wired so that you pick one up, you were speaking directly to the White House.
My name's Anita Castillo, and I'm the paymaster for the Palacio del Rio. The day that I was hired, that was back in October 9, 1974. I was being processed by HR, and while I was there was a lot of people going through the hallway. I mean, we're talking about men in suits, policemen. The director of HR told me, I'll be right back. I said, okay, so she left me there in the HR department. When she came back, she says, I wanted to take a picture of Elvis, but I had my camera backwards. So she took a picture of her face instead of Elvis. And I looked at her kind of funny because I thought, well, who's Elvis? And she looked at me, you don't know who Elvis Presley is? I said, no, I don't. So then we kind of laugh about it because now I know who he is. But actually he was having a concert here at the Hemisphere Arena on October the 9th, and he was staying in our property. When I was working in the food and beverage cashier, there was this special gentleman that would come to the restaurant eat once a week. So every week I would talk to him, and then one day we were like super busy, and his table was ready. So there was a customer, couple behind him, and he asked that couple, would you like to join us? Or would you like to join me? And the couple said yes. Well, they had their lunch, and then he came back, he paid the bill, and he left. And I said, okay, well, I'll see you next week, because he was a regular customer. The couple came back and wanted to pay their bills, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, the gentleman paid your bill. And then they said, well, who was the gentleman? I said, well, what did he tell you? That he worked, I asked him what he did for a living, and he told me he was in construction. And I looked at the couple, and yes, that's what he does. He's in construction. And I said, well, y'all have a good day. Then they left, and I said, well, that was Mr. Zachary.
My name is Rey Vasquez. I'm in the banquet department. I'm here 41 years. It must have been about maybe 20 years ago, and it was a Cattlemen's Association. So I was in the facilities end of it, and so that's taking care of all the meetings and cleanup around the banquet spaces. So I walk up to the 22nd floor off the elevator, and next thing I know, there's a Longhorn cattle right in the foyer outside of the current La Vista room. So my first thought is I look at it and say, well, who's gonna clean up this mess? Oh, me.
My name is Rey Ramos. I've been here 49 years, and I'm a valet driver. When I started working here, this was the only hotel. There was no Marriott, no Hyatt, nothing, just us. And that was towards the end of the World's Fair, Hemisphere, and the rooms were built several miles away and brought up here in a trailer and just stacked on top of it, one another. A story that everybody wanted to hear about, when they stayed here. They wanted to know the facts about how it was built and how many days it took and everything. I can't complain. I've been able to feed my family, educate my kids, and I have 8 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren.
My name is Lois Lewis, and I've been with the company for 41 years. Well, the most one that comes to mind is when I won Employee of the Year. I was more shocked than anything else. They have a luncheon, and we were eating lunch and everything, but I was eating lunch, and I wasn't really paying attention. And then all of a sudden I heard, Lois, me? And then at the time the housekeeper was Mr. Martino. And I was like, and he goes, yes, Lois, it's you, you know. And I almost choked on my water. But here, it's quite a few people that's been here for years and years. And it's because it's a good company. And, you know, they train you and it's like a family. We all like a family.